3 months I was in absolute diabolical agony. We thought everybody thought I was going to die, you know. To be honest.
Thanks for being with us here on Live Now from Fox. We do have some breaking news that just came into our newsroom that we have to bring to you. It's official there, British rock.
Do have some breaking news to bring you now because we have learned that Ozzy Osbourne, the heavy metal star known as the Prince.
3 months I was in absolute diabolical agony. Everybody thought, I was going to die. You know, to be honest with you, the way I felt, death would have been a welcome gift. On the morning of July 22nd, 2025, Ozzy Osbourne, the legendary rock icon and founder of Black Sabbath, passed away at the age of 76, leaving a massive void in the music world. The news of the sudden death of the Prince of Darkness not only shocked his fans, but also rocked the entire music industry. But what truly made Ozzy Osbourne's death unforgettable wasn't just because he was a legend, but the horrifying revelations Ozzy shared in his final moments. His last words were not only a farewell, but also a confession of secrets and mistakes from the past that had never been disclosed before. Could these words completely change the way we view Ozzy, his life, and the dark moments he endured? Let's delve into the shocking truths Ozzy Osbourne revealed in the final moments of his life. In the final moments of Ozzy Osbourne, on July 22, 2025, the news of his death shocked the world. He passed away at his home in Los Angeles after a long battle with Parkinson's disease and age-related health issues. Since being diagnosed with Parkinson's in 2019, Ozzy had endured years of physical pain and difficulty in movement. However, no one could have expected that he would pass away at this time, after his relentless efforts to continue contributing to music. His death was not only a shock to his fans, but also to his family who had witnessed his brave fight to hold on to a glimmer of hope and love for life. The news spread quickly, not only among Black Sabbath's fan base and rock music enthusiasts, but also across the globe. From rock stars to music industry professionals, no one failed to express their sorrow and respect for Ozzy. Everyone had special memories of Ozzy, from iconic music nights to personal conversations, all of which showed that Ozzy was not just a music legend, but also a close, warm-hearted man. Before his passing, Ozzy had faced numerous challenges in life. In his final years, his health deteriorated significantly. Parkinson's disease, while not the primary cause of his death, had greatly affected his ability to perform and move. Every step Ozzy took became harder, and during some performances, he had to sit on a chair to continue performing for his fans. Despite this, his resilience in fighting the disease did not diminish his passion and enthusiasm for music. In 2025, he held a farewell concert in Birmingham, the hometown of Black Sabbath, a significant performance that marked not only a musical event but also a key milestone in his life. Despite his weak health, Ozzy's determination to hold this concert showed his deep commitment to his fans. The concert was not only an event marking Black Sabbath's return, but also a farewell to Ozzy's global audience. Even though he had to sit due to the effects of Parkinson's, he still conveyed his love for music and heartfelt emotions to each audience member. It was a moment that would never be forgotten by everyone who attended. In his final hours, Ozzy Osbourne left a message that made the world reflect. His family, especially his wife Sharon Osbourne, shared that before his death, Ozzy said something deeply moving to them. He had forgiven those who had hurt him in the past and advised his loved ones to let him pass in peace. "Let me go in peace. Don't be sad. It's time for me to rest," were his final words to his family. These were not just words of farewell, but also a message of forgiveness, acceptance, and leaving the past behind. Ozzy lived a life filled with turmoil and upheaval. His youth was marked by drugs, alcohol, and shocking unstaged behavior. He made many mistakes, and those actions caused significant harm to those around him, especially his family. However, in his final moments, Ozzy not only spoke of forgiving those who had hurt him, but also confessed to his own past mistakes. He acknowledged his faults and expressed regret for the actions he had taken when he was younger. This was part of the message he wanted to convey to his loved ones and his fans. Ozzy's last words were not just a farewell, but also advice for those who remain: forgive yourself and others. Don't let hatred take over your life. These words not only held significance for his family, but also served as a powerful message for all of us, that forgiveness and letting go of the past are the keys to living peacefully and happily. No one can deny that Ozzy Osbourne went through many ups and downs in his life. As a rock star, Ozzy lived in the spotlight, but also endured scandals and major upheavals. His early years, especially in the 1970s, were filled with struggles. He faced addiction, broken relationships, and public criticism for his rebellious acts on stage. His infamous act of biting the head off a bat on stage led to misunderstandings and accusations of him being a Satanist. However, Ozzy always maintained that it was just part of the show and did not reflect his true nature. Ozzy's life was not always easy. His peak years in the music industry were also marked by his battles with drugs and alcohol, along with health and mental issues. He was fired from Black Sabbath in 1979 due to his addiction problems. But he later bounced back and began a successful solo career. His final message reflects a person who had made many mistakes but knew how to rise again and face the past. It was through forgiveness and self-awareness of his wrongdoings that Ozzy found peace in his final years. The events in Ozzy Osbourne's life were not always filled with glory and success. Born on December 3, 1948, in Birmingham, England, into a poor family, Ozzy faced numerous challenges from an early age. His memories of childhood are linked to poverty, domestic violence, and negative experiences. Ozzy's parents were unhappy, and he lived in an environment lacking affection, full of tension and instability. It was in this environment that Ozzy developed a rebellious personality and feelings of inferiority. He was not much cared for by his parents and felt unloved. Instead of focusing on academics, Ozzy spent much of his time playing music, which marked the beginning of his musical journey. However, due to financial constraints, Ozzy could only borrow instruments and practice in his spare time. These formative years built Ozzy's defiant character and lack of self-confidence, which led him to be easily swept into society's bad influences, particularly drugs and alcohol. His early years, especially after leaving home and living alone, were marked by not only material hardships, but also mental struggles. Ozzy didn't know where he was going or what he would do. And he had no one to guide him to become a responsible adult. But it was from these difficulties that Ozzy slowly found his way into music, though that path was filled with hardships and challenges. Ozzy Osbourne's life took a major turn when he joined the band Black Sabbath in the late 1960s. Along with Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward, Ozzy helped create a rock music legend. Black Sabbath is regarded as one of the pioneering bands of heavy metal, and Ozzy Osbourne, with his distinctive voice, became an inseparable part of the band's success. However, despite Black Sabbath's massive success from the 1970s with iconic albums such as Paranoid, Master of Reality, and Black Sabbath, Ozzy's life within the band was not simple. While the other members matured and maintained a healthy lifestyle, Ozzy was caught in a downward spiral of drugs and alcohol. Ozzy's addiction severely impacted his mental and physical health, causing him to lose control over his behavior and work performance. By 1979, after a long period of facing personal problems, Ozzy was fired from Black Sabbath due to his uncontrollable addiction. This was a huge shock to Ozzy, but it also marked a turning point in his career. Nonetheless, Ozzy did not give up. After leaving the band, he launched a successful solo career highlighted by the album Blizzard of Oz in 1980, which featured the hit Crazy Train, one of the most iconic songs in rock history. Ozzy Osbourne's solo career was marked by a string of major successes, not only in terms of music but also his personal fame. Ozzy released several landmark albums, including Diary of a Madman, 1981, The Ultimate Sin, 1986, and No More Tears, 1991. Songs such as Mama, I'm Coming Home, No More Tears, and Bark at the Moon became anthems, helping Ozzy build a solid musical empire that spanned generations. However, Ozzy's path to recovery was not easy. He still faced addiction and constant internal struggles. Ozzy went through multiple rehab stints and was greatly supported by his family, especially his wife Sharon Osbourne. During this journey, Sharon played a pivotal role in helping Ozzy stay strong and overcome the most difficult times of his life, especially with his addiction and mental health issues. The years of battling drugs, alcohol, and the ups and downs of his music career did not diminish Ozzy's passion for music. On the contrary, they made him even more determined to maintain his career. In the final years of his life, Ozzy faced serious health problems. Parkinson's disease, a progressive neurological condition, had a significant impact on his ability to move and communicate. Despite enduring severe pain and exhaustion, Ozzy continued composing and performing. While audiences saw a frail Ozzy at times, his resilience and determination earned him admiration from all who followed his journey. Sharon Osbourne's love and sacrifice in caring for Ozzy also played an essential role in helping him through the difficult times. Sharon was not only his wife but also a steadfast partner, always by his side through every moment of his life. She was the one who helped Ozzy overcome the darkest periods, from his struggles with addiction to the later health challenges. From a poor, self-conscious boy in a troubled family, Ozzy Osbourne became a music legend. His journey is a story of relentless struggle, overcoming hardships, recovery, and growth. Yet, despite achieving success, Ozzy never forgot the lessons from his past. The challenges he faced helped shape him into a strong, resilient, and inspiring person, not just in music but in life. Every step Ozzy took, whether on stage or in everyday life, reflected his relentless fight and refusal to give up. While he faced failures and mistakes in his past, in the end, Ozzy Osbourne found peace not only for himself, but also for his family and loved ones, unveiling the truths about Ozzy Osbourne. Throughout his career, Ozzy Osbourne built a persona as the Prince of Darkness. This was not just a nickname, but also the way the public identified him. From the early days of joining Black Sabbath, Ozzy became one of the most iconic figures in heavy metal music, not only due to his music, but also because of his shocking stage antics. Acts like biting the head off a bat or even chewing the head of a pigeon on stage led the public and media to label him as the Prince of Darkness, even calling him a Satanist. However, the truth behind this image is quite different. In interviews and events, Ozzy always emphasized that these shocking acts were merely part of his performance, a strategy to create a public image, and did not reflect his true nature. The infamous bat incident, which he later deeply regretted, was part of his rebellious stage show aimed at drawing attention and mirroring the bold music style of Black Sabbath. However, after that event, Ozzy faced heavy criticism and misunderstandings, with many people believing that he truly subscribed to bizarre beliefs or even Satanism. Despite being heavily criticized and misunderstood, Ozzy remained firm in stating that it was just showbiz. In reality, he was a man who deeply loved his family, completely contrary to the Prince of Darkness image that had been created by the public. Ozzy Osbourne was a devoted husband to Sharon Osbourne, a loving father to his children, and a person with a big heart. All of those shocking acts were simply strategies to attract attention, part of the showbiz that he couldn't escape from. Therefore, the Prince of Darkness label was just a tag assigned to Ozzy in the early years of his career. Those who truly knew him, from family to friends, understood that Ozzy did not harbor the dark thoughts people had assumed. Beyond music, Ozzy Osbourne often had to deal with controversial views about his personal life. His title of Prince of Darkness was not only based on his stage image, but also on his lifestyle, which was full of shocking acts and contradictions to societal norms. However, despite being criticized numerous times for his actions, Ozzy always asserted that it was all exaggerated, and he never pursued such a dark philosophy of life. Throughout his turbulent years, from his time in Black Sabbath to his stormy personal life, Ozzy continually refuted accusations that he was a Satanist or opposed societal values. During the 1970s, when the rock music scene was marked by strong rebellion and a life of chaos on stage, Ozzy did not hesitate to be a part of that movement. However, he never forgot the importance of family, love, and sacrifice. Ozzy was not a dark figure, which was completely different from the image the press and public had built for him. Despite moments when he appeared in interviews or public events with a rebellious, bold persona, Ozzy always affirmed that he was a peace-loving man who deeply valued family. This outlook on life helped him overcome numerous challenges and sustain his music career for decades. One lesser-known story about Ozzy Osbourne is his deep bond with his family, particularly his wife Sharon Osbourne. The relationship between Ozzy and Sharon is a symbol of lasting love in a world full of challenges. Sharon was not just his wife and life partner, but also his manager and protector, shielding him from the temptations and darkness of life. The story of Sharon's sacrifice was exposed in the reality TV show The Osbournes, where fans could witness the everyday moments of Ozzy's family life, an image that was completely different from the Prince of Darkness persona he held. Their relationship had been tested through many storms, from addiction issues and work-related controversies to public events. However, Sharon's love and steadfastness helped Ozzy overcome it all. During the toughest times, Sharon was always by his side, caring for and helping him. Sharon was also the one who helped Ozzy through the painful days of his Parkinson's disease. And in his final moments, Ozzy repeatedly mentioned how important Sharon was to his life and career. To Ozzy, Sharon was the heart and soul of his life, and he could not live without her. Family love was one of the most important aspects of Ozzy's life. Despite going through many struggles and hardships in his music career, Ozzy never let himself fall into temptations without the support of his loved ones. He could face loneliness and mental breakdowns, but he was never without love and care from his family. This is why his relationship with Sharon, his children, and his close friends helped Ozzy remain resilient and face every challenge with strength. The legacy of a music legend, Ozzy Osbourne was not just a rock star. He was a symbol of a music genre, a person who changed the face of heavy metal and left an indelible mark on the music industry. Since joining Black Sabbath, he helped create legendary tracks that opened a new chapter for rock music. However, Ozzy's legacy extends far beyond Black Sabbath. His successful solo albums and independent career proved that he was not just the lead singer of Black Sabbath, but also an artist with widespread influence both inside and outside the music world. Ozzy Osbourne is one of the pioneers of heavy metal, not only with Black Sabbath but also in his solo career. With albums like Blizzard of Ozz, 1980, and Diary of a Madman, 1981, Ozzy created a new wave in rock music. The song Crazy Train from Blizzard of Ozz became one of the most iconic rock songs and one of the standout tracks in music history. Not only is it an influential anthem in the rock community, but it is also a staple in any rock concert. Songs like Iron Man, Paranoid, and War Pigs from Black Sabbath also laid the groundwork for the growth of heavy metal, a genre that has flourished from the 1970s to the present. Ozzy not only ruled the stage but also became an inspiration for many young artists. Generations of musicians from rock to metal looked to Ozzy as a role model. Big names in the industry such as Metallica, Slayer, and Megadeth have acknowledged the deep influence of Black Sabbath, and particularly Ozzy, in shaping their styles and music. Moreover, contemporary artists like Post Malone and Justin Bieber have invited Ozzy to collaborate on music projects, showing that he still holds significant influence in modern music culture. Even in his later years, facing numerous health issues, Ozzy demonstrated that music was an integral part of his life and he would never abandon his passion. Ozzfest, the music festival Ozzy founded in 1996, became one of the largest and most influential events in rock and metal history. This festival was not just a music event, but also an essential platform for young bands to reach fans and build their names. Ozzfest opened doors for many metal bands, including System of a Down, Disturbed, Korn, and Slipknot in the early stages of their careers. Ozzfest not only helped Ozzy maintain his influence in the music world but also affirmed him as a continuous creator, always seeking to innovate and spread his love for music to new generations. Ozzy was not only the founder of a music festival, but also a driving force in the music industry with major events and initiatives. His creativity and ability to discover new talent helped many artists become legends in the metal music scene. Ozzfest became an emblem of rebellious music culture, a playground for artists eager to test the boundaries of music. Beyond his success in music, Ozzy Osbourne made significant contributions to popular culture through the reality TV show The Osbournes. This show was not only an entertaining experience for Ozzy's fans but also changed the public's perception of stars. On The Osbournes, viewers saw a different side of Ozzy compared to his rebellious, rule-breaking stage image. He was a loving husband, a caring father, and at times an ordinary man in family life. This show helped Ozzy partially shed the Prince of Darkness image in the eyes of the public, leaving behind a different, more authentic cultural legacy. Although Ozzy has always been associated with rebellion and breaking the rules in music, it was through the Osbournes that the public saw a more approachable and humane side of him. He was not only a music legend but also a symbol of resilience, family love, and gratitude for those who had always supported him throughout his challenging journey. The legacy that Ozzy Osbourne leaves behind is undeniable. He is a living legend, someone who inspired many young artists and loyal fans of rock and metal music. From timeless songs to grand concerts, from his solo career to his efforts to help emerging artists, Ozzy has left a profound impact not only on music but also on global culture. With all of his contributions and achievements, Ozzy Osbourne will forever be recognized as a pioneer in music history, an undying symbol of the rock world. The life of Ozzy Osbourne is a story of resilience. From a man associated with scandal, addiction, and shocking acts, Ozzy transformed himself into a music legend, loved and respected by many. The challenges he faced, from being fired from Black Sabbath to dealing with serious health issues later in life, demonstrate one thing: nothing can defeat persistence and a strong will. Looking back on Ozzy's journey of recovery, one cannot overlook the times he overcame addiction crises. It was a long and painful process, but with the help of his family, especially his wife Sharon, Ozzy found sobriety and lived a stronger life. He fought tirelessly against his inner demons, step by step, overcoming challenges that seemed insurmountable. Especially in his later years, despite battling Parkinson's disease, Ozzy remained resilient, continuing to create and perform, proving that nothing could stop his passion and dedication to music. Ozzy's struggles with addiction taught him valuable lessons about patience, perseverance, and the importance of support from loved ones. Through the process of fighting temptations, Ozzy found the strength to rise from failure. His life is not only a story of musical success but also a lesson in the power of recovery and a living testament to never giving up, even in the hardest of times. Throughout his life, Ozzy Osbourne always viewed family as the one thing that helped him maintain his spirit and avoid being overwhelmed by the challenges in his career. No one can deny the crucial role that Sharon Osbourne, his wife, played in helping him overcome the difficult years. The love story between Ozzy and Sharon is a testament to strong family bonds, even in the face of numerous storms. Sharon was not only a wife but also a manager, life partner, and the person who saved Ozzy from the traps of drugs, alcohol, and self-destruction. It was Sharon's patience and love that allowed Ozzy to maintain his career and overcome some of the darkest times in his life. The years they spent together overcoming crises and raising their family turned Ozzy into a man who cherished love and care more than ever. Family love helped Ozzy find peace in his soul as he faced life's storms. Ozzy's final message before his death was proof of the deep love he had for Sharon and their children. He did not want his family to endure the sadness of his passing. Nor did he want to leave behind any lingering pain from the past. He had forgiven those who had hurt him and asked his family to let him go in peace without hatred. One of the greatest lessons Ozzy Osbourne leaves for the world is the power of forgiveness and the ability to accept the past. His life was marked by mistakes, from his poor, painful youth to self-destructive acts during the height of his career. But instead of living with regret, Ozzy chose to face his mistakes and learn to forgive himself. In his final moments, Ozzy not only forgave those who had hurt him, but also forgave himself. He did not live in the past, nor let pain and regret take over his mind. Instead, he found peace with himself and his life. His message is a clear call to forgive mistakes and face the past in order to live peacefully in the present. Ozzy knew that if he did not forgive himself and others, he could never find peace in his soul. This is a profound message he wanted to send to his loved ones and fans worldwide. Forgiveness is not about forgetting mistakes. It is about freeing ourselves from resentment and suffering. Ozzy Osbourne's final message was a reminder of the importance of family, love, and forgiveness. He went through many hardships, but it was family love and the power of recovery that made him a stronger man. His life is proof that nothing is impossible if we have the strength to face and overcome every challenge. Ozzy Osbourne's legacy is not only in his music and career achievements, but also in the invaluable lessons he left for humanity about persistence, love, and forgiveness. Although he has passed, the messages he left behind will continue to live on, inspiring all of us in this challenging journey of life. So we have walked through an emotional journey in the life of Ozzy Osbourne, a man known not only as a music legend but also as a symbol of resilience, family love, and the power of forgiveness. His final message was not just a farewell but a powerful reminder that life is truly worth living when we learn to let go of the past, forgive, and love. Ozzy Osbourne lived a life full of struggles but also full of meaning. And even though he has passed, his musical legacy and the lessons from his life will always live on in our hearts. If you found this video meaningful, don't forget to leave a like and comment below about what you think of Ozzy and the lessons he left behind. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next videos. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next.